All right, let's do this. Hello, one and all, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Cold Road. I'm your humble dungeon master, and with me, as always, are some of our vile villains. Say hi, vile villain. Oh, wait, let me unmute you. Don't say it yet. Say hi, vile villains.
Hello, vile villains.
That's not how it goes. Gang, last we left our merry band, they were in pursuit of Shifty Wick, who led them to the outer ring of Horseshoe Pass, the Horseshoe Chasm. Horseshoe Chasm being this giant, seemingly endless drop into desolate darkness. After some perception checks, it was revealed that they weren't the only ones chasing Wick through the chasm. A mama direwolf and her pups on the hunt for a crow-flavored meal. In an attempt to get him first, a three-way brawl broke out between Wick, the wolves, and our vile villains, in which Wick was on the ropes. But before they could finish him off, something stirring beneath the ice was awakened from its slumber. Ice cracked and broke to a tilt, revealing, yes, a mighty bay here that waters beneath the Rimefrost. It had a head the size of a tavern and the body to match. The monstrosity scrambled after anyone that was unlucky enough to be in its way. It let out shouts of lightning and split the ground, vaporizing the ice. Wick used this as an opportunity to make a leap of faith and glide across to the nearby village across the way. Ghost, seeing his chances yet again slip between his fingers, aimed his crossbow, and against all odds, including with disadvantage and a bonus to Wick's AC as a result of the wind, a crossbow bolt threaded up Wick's leg, split him like a watermelon, tendons whipping like tassels in the wind, and he fell unconscious about 80 or so feet into the chasm on an outcropping of ice. They hadn't caught him, but he was injured, and bad. Knowing they would find him again, our villains made a mad dash back to the carriage where Joseph kicked the horses into high gear, and they made their escape from the mighty bay here. Villains, you still need to make it to Horseshoe Pass. For some, before the bastard Wick gets a chance to slip away again, and for others, because it's been a nerve-wracking 3-hour drive. Either way, Yosef knows this being the driver, has kicked the horses in the high gear. He's already making his way to Horseshoe Pass. Is there anything you guys want to do for the, few minutes you have until you arrive at the front gates?
On the garage?
Yeah.
Is this downtime or?
Not really. I'm just kind of asking, in case one of you wanted to roll some, because even you guys have just gotten out of a mean fight. You're a little battered and bruised. If anybody wanted to use some of their hit dice to heal back up, you can do that. But yeah, it's just that you're approaching a town. I don't know if you guys want to formulate a game plan going forward, or anything like that. That's kind of what I'm asking.
Gotcha.
It's definitely going to be pilfer all the supplies, but in a stealthy manner where they can't tell that we're doing it.
Like a row with a carriage. I can't see anything. I can't think of
Can I roll in nature to see, was that cave just an opening on the wall, or was it that led into something that led into a system of caves?
Yeah, give me a nature check. I'll say, because you're looking at it from the outside, right, you only see the mouth. It's going to be a DC 18.
Can I help?
Gotcha.
Are you proficient in nature?
Nope.
Then no.
Never mind.
6. It's not that you don't know. It's not that you don't know. It's that you can't formulate a final answer right now. These checks are usually yes or no. What do I know for a fact as far as intelligence checks go? You just can't tell. Like I said before, unfortunately, it is just the mouth of a cave. So you, without being inside of it or seeing what it leads into or lack thereof, there's no way to tell.
Gotcha. Can I ask Yosef to stopped by the like the body that we found?
Oh, the one that exploded?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. You see that he first off looks at you like a madman. He just goes, all right. Hits the horses, pulls on the reins, gets them to stop before making a whole U-turn. Because again, that's behind you. You guys bust a U-turn. You go back to the splattered remains of this bannerman that is just scattered across the ice, like sort of grotesque jigsaw puzzle.
Can I? I just wanted to see if I could like search the guy, see if he had any like any valuables with him
So
or like orders.
you immediately can tell first off anything that was not incredibly so if he had any swords or anything like that, those would have survived, but you don't see any of those there. You don't see any blades or anything like that. It seems that for the most part he wasn't carrying any valuables. You do find that like he didn't, like, you see find the fragment. I'll say this, give me an investigation check.
Sorry, give me a second.
Yeah, okay, so 16, you find very familiar, like, leather fabric that belongs to, like, pouches, like this kind of cloth with, like, leather that belongs to, like, a heavy-duty pouch that is fully ripped asunder. You find that because it's ripped asunder, because it was the ground zero of a blast, give me I'll say this, roll me 3d10s, please.
1 second.
You find through all of the carnage and all of the blackened soot, you find 12 pieces of gold from his pouch scattered amongst the snow. You did remember this. You did loot his cloak already. You pulled his cloak off first. It wasn't until you moved the body last session, like literally picked it up and rolled it over, that it exploded. So you were able to get his cloak off, which, for anybody who wants to wear it, it is considered winter's clothes. We talked about that item a little bit. Last session. His cloak is considered winter's clothes, not the cloaks of the lower soldiers who were like your escorts. This is a bannerman. His is considered winter's clothes. So you have the cloak. You've got 12 pieces of gold from him. You find like a boot and stuff kind of scattered around, but like not enough to make a pair of boots or anything like that.
Okay, I want to look for something else because I feel like
You just want to go get the one boot?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you get the boot.
Is it in my backpack?
Sure.
Cool.
Sorry, say that again.
I feel like at this point Gray would have told me something about like the elemental that he wanted to free. Like I would ask Romeo.
Ooh, okay. Interesting. That's an interesting thing. The bannerman was part of the escort, right? So I will say if any of you want to help him look for clues, you guys can start rolling some investigations check here. You can give me 3 separate ones for 3 individual pieces of information, or just to kind of he's looking for he wants to know about the elemental that was on the carriage. But I'll also say that this is an opportunity for Twig and for Blizzard to like try and scavenge some stuff from this guy, from this bannerman.
You want an assist? You could have an assist, but my investigation's garbage.
Sure. Would that give me advantage in just one of the rolls, or like?
So yeah. So basically, you guys get 3 rolls, or you get 2 rolls. But that's what it is.
Also, can I have the warm clothes? Because I think that's the one the ratty prisoners got.
So cold weather clothes while wearing the cloak, which is a full cloak. It's like, you ever see in cartoons where they're wearing like a curtain and it goes fully around them? No. Like that's the outfit. It's like a cape that goes around their whole body and you can't see the front either. It goes all the way to the floor, like fur around the neck. It is a first off, heavy. As in there is a strength score requirement to even wear it. I didn't say what it was. I'm just saying that there is one. It's real heavy, and it gives you advantage on saving throws to resist the effects of cold weather. However, if it ever comes up, you have disadvantage on saving throws to resist the effects of hot weather.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna rethink taking that, especially because I use strength score.
Okay, what's up?
Where are we?
So
Dude,
instead
my
of going
strength
to Horseshoe Pass, you guys made a U-turn. Do you remember the bannerman that was in the snow? He had obviously had the giant banner. You guys went over to investigate. I think Ghost went over to investigate. He pulled the cloak off, but when he turned him over, it was booby trapped and it exploded. You're at the remains, like the detonation site of that again.
Is that like a city? I don't remember where it is.
No, it's just like he was just in the snow. Like he was just dead in the snow.
Oh, there's no like stuff around.
No, like this. Well, that's what you're looking for. You're looking to see if there's any like valuables or anything that may have survived that blast.
Just like buildings or like like hideouts.
The closest like settlement that you can see
Can I actually,
is
not that this actually counts, and I don't know if you will allow it, but because of my background and all of my expertise, I have expertise in disarming traps and such, and unlocking doors and thieves' tool stuff.
Okay.
Would I be able to do
thieves' tools would be disarming traps, so you do have expertise in this. Yeah.
Cool. I would like to either A, look for other traps, or B, look for what looks like a trap door to something under the snow. Because where is this guy always going to?
Okay. Remember, you guys are backtracking, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't want you to. The reason I'm not having you roll anything just yet, maybe save that for a little bit later, is because
you're secretly saying there's nothing here. Got it. Okay.
Not just that, but you guys did ride past this. The event happened, and then the fight happened afterwards. But instead of continuing straight forward to go to the city or to the little village, you went backwards back to the body.
That was Ed's fault. Let's just go there.
I don't know who cut that bridge down, but that's all I'm saying.
Who did cut the bridge down?
I don't remember.
It wasn't me, because I was hanging off a cliff.
You cut half the bridge down.
I didn't cut it. I didn't cut it. It was already loose. He made me flavorfully swing across. I didn't ask for that.
I didn't ask for that. Insane. So yeah, like I said, you guys get 3 individual investigation checks to look around, or you get 2 if one of you wants to give some advantage.
I'm gonna give some advantage because I don't want to roll a -1. Also, could I maybe scavenge a thigh or an arm again and add it to my bag of rations? Spool.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'll say like you pick up what's left of, like you pick up the boot and add it.
I look inside. There's just a foot.
There's a whole foot still in it.
I like. Twig pulls it out. Kind
It
of
is-
holds it up straight.
It is 1/2 of a pair of sabatons, which are like metal greaves for like boots. So you pulled it up and you go to like look in it because like it's like a weird, like raccoons digging through garbage kind of thing where they're just kind of there's food and then there's curiosities, kind of just like, oh, maybe he's got like a coin in his boot and a foot falls out.
Right. So Twig picks it up and they kind of just hold it up in the air and look over at Blizzard and then just kind of wiggle it a little bit.
Okay.
Blizzard just kind of walks over, takes the foot, reaches down into the knife holster that got stolen, instinctively goes to grab it and starts to go up to the foot and then realizes he doesn't have a knife still.
Twig, very, very shyly, takes the knife out from their backpack. Also hands it to you.
Oh, you made a fucking mistake. Do I recognize this is my knife?
Oh, you recognize it as the knife of the guy whose dead body you took it from. Like, you're definitely like, I stole that knife. Like, it's a weird moment where like, I stole that and then you stole that. Like, there's definitely recognition, yes.
So they hold it up.
Oh, you have just earned
But before-
spot on Blizzard shit list.
But before you have time to grab it, they just tuck it right back in their backpack and walk away.
Blizzard is just standing there, big gaping maw, just
He's got that weird, like his mouth is
the
open agape.
audacity of this bitch.
Mouth agape, giant long lizard, crocodile mouth, just hanging open, dumbfounded.
Can I make a snowball and throw it at her?
Oh, absolutely. Give me a raw dexterity check first.
Yeah, I can do that for you. Raw dex. I double clicked it. Roll. 13.
All right. It's not solid, but it is definitely a snowball. Give me a ranged attack, please. Just give me a d20 plus your dexterity and your proficiency bonus.
Okay, hang on. +5, I think is what that. I really hope that doesn't mean extra dice. Yeah.
You throw it. You cock your make the snowball. You recock your arm back, whipping it. And only to realize you've horrifically miscalculated the size of Twig. Snowball sails over her head, lands harmlessly in the snow, and it's a weird moment where you like. Okay, let me say this, Twig. How do you react to just seeing a snow? Like it's nowhere near you. First off.
Twig just stops mid in their tracks, slowly turns, looking at Blizzard, and then their green little eyes just squint. Like, you hear, dun, 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 dun.
Frozen tumbleweed.
Their little fingers are kind of gripping.
Snowball just bounced.
Their little fingers are kind of just like wiggling at their side.
You take a moment, Blizzard, do you meet her challenge? Or, like, do you meet Twig's challenge?
Oh, I don't just meet Twig's challenge. I start making extra snowballs with my tail.
You start making snowballs with your tail. You take one hand and do that, like, Bruce Lee move where you, like, almost, like, wipe your nose before your hands go to your side. And then you realize at this moment, the snow you picked up from the snowball was where an animal had previously just used the bathroom.
One or two.
Definitely number one. It's just this raw ammonia smell that goes across your nose. You see, like, as soon as that moment comes where you're waiting for the clock to strike 12 where you draw, you find that there is a moment of weakness where he breaks the minute that clock strikes 12. If you want to shoot back, you have the initiative.
You just hear,
Not just initiative, you have advantage.
but nobody
because
else
our wing
hears
is so
it.
bad.
It's just in Blizzard's head, but you just hear, and then they turn around and walk away.
That's what you see. No shots fired, but you lost this battle, Blizzard.
That didn't. That there was no HP damage there, but goddamn did my pride just take an ass.
There was no HP damage, but there was definitely psychic damage.
And this is why I'm glad we're still on tonight.
Oh baby. So yeah, if you guys want to roll those investigation checks for me, please.
Yes.
You can choose not to, by the way. You don't have to.
I mean, it's not gonna hurt anything.
Is the dead guy's rib cage still intact?
Not really. Most of the bombs were implanted at the chest, so a lot of the chest isn't there. Oh, yep. Wow. Way to go.
Why did they roll 3?
I don't know. I'm taking the 22 anyway.
Roll
He gets
22.
advantage on one.
I thought it was three investigation.
Oh, no. So
It was either-
each of you has one roll, or one of you can give an advantage and have 2 rolls.
And then the other person just rolls. So you got advantage.
I misunderstood.
So they gave you advantage. So Blizzard gave you advantage, so I'm taking the 22, which is your higher one.
And then I got a 12.
you got a 12.
Good rolls. Good rolls.
You find, so I'll say this, Ghost. You find, again, not a lot of stuff exist. Like this guy, a lot of this guy doesn't, isn't a solid piece anymore.
Can I, using my 12, which is not very good, investigate and look for maybe leftover pieces or anything I can scrounge up to kind of, if I wanted to make my own booby trap again later on, maybe like metal wire that just happened to be laying, that like came from the body, or the mechanism that timed it. Maybe there's like a burnt piece still there.
Okay. I'm gonna say with a 12, like most of that was destroyed in the explosion.
Can I at least get a copper wire?
You have thieves tools. You have thieves tools.
That's all in there?
Pretty much, yeah. You need to buy like the actual explosives and stuff. But as far as like casing,
don't have to be explosive.
but as far as like but as far as like casings and things go, metal wires or fuses, all of that's included in thieves tools.
Oh, never mind. I didn't know that.
Ghost, you find that inside of the coat, inside of the big cloak, is a small, is like a small pocket where the guy must have been keeping, certain documents he wanted on hand immediately. So one of them is like a trader's license, and so that they can stop at like trading posts and things and procure goods. One of them is like the emblem of Omeria. You find that there is another one that is the manifest of what is on, like what is or is not on the prisoner cargo. It has the names of all of the prisoners listed on it, but there is no listing for, like, there's prisoner 1, prisoner 2, prisoner 3, prisoner 4, prisoner 5, their names, their punishments, how long they are to serve their sentence. You see that there's like a crate of rations is on there, a crate of dried meats, whatever. But it says no. There is no listing for any kind of elemental on board. And with that, is there anything else you guys wish to search for? Yeah, you find that this guy got pretty vaporized, so there's not a lot of stuff to scavenge here, unfortunately.
How long would you say this little pit stop is?
Like 15 minutes, 20 minutes?
Can I climb some trees and kind of just try and look for, like, little animal nests? I don't know if they'd be like bird nests. I don't know if it'd be like little squirrel nests in little hollowed out sections of tree. Maybe nut stashes.
Sure. Give me an athletics check first, please.
Oh boy, my favorite. Wacha!
Oh, well, a +0. Nice. There's a couple of smaller trees that you're able to climb. Now that you're up there, give me a survival check. Survival or nature, up to you.
I will definitely take survival. Wacha! Alright.
You find that, and it's kind of like a suspicion that you have at first as you start to climb up, a lot of the creatures that live out here in Icewind Dale and the Rimefrost are not avian creatures, unfortunately. They're not creatures that spend a lot of time in the trees. So the animals, like, if you would be looking for, like, eggs and things like that to eat, you would want to find, like, the serpentine creatures or something like that live in the snow. You'd have to find burrows and things.
Okay. Nels on the squirrels, though.
There's definitely no squirrels.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay. So I'm assuming you missed what I was saying earlier.
Yeah, I did. Sorry, I had to step away for a second.
All good. So what I was saying was, so inside of the cloak, you start to sift through the cloak a little bit. You find that there is a pocket in which this guy was keeping certain documentation that he wanted on hand immediately, since he was towards the front of all the carriages. You find, like, for example, like a trading license, like a merchant's license, so that they can stop at trading posts to procure goods. You find a, like, decree of Omerian, like, noblemanship.
Yeah.
You
What's
also
the name of the what's the name on the nobleman ship?
so it's an Omarian decree. So the city you guys traveled from is called Omaria. So it means that like somebody high up in Omaria, whether it's some sort of like government official or something, gave them like authority to invoke like the house name or something. So they'd be like, I can't be I have diplomatic immunity because I'm part of so and so household or whatever.
Cool.
The last thing is a cargo manifest. It is a
That's what I was looking for.
it is a cargo manifest that that says everything that was inventoried on the criminal transport. And I'm saying like you immediately see things like each name of the prisoner, what they're arrested for, how long their service they're meant to serve. You see like they have like rations documented. You see like 1 crate, 2 crates of dried meat or whatever. But you don't notice.
Wait. Does it say why they were arrested for?
For some of them, yeah. I'll say for most of them, yes.
I want to look at what Blizzard and Twig were arrested for.
Strangely enough, Twig looks like they were added to the manifest kind of haphazardly at the end. Blizzard looks like he's under arrest for slander.
For slander?
For slander.
Okay, that's not that
Well,
bad. I thought he was arrested for like theft or like assassination or something.
Nope. The one that you see that like most of them aren't there. The one name that you see like you kind of just like look at it. Shifty Wick has been arrested for slander, grand theft, selling magical goods illegally, the illegal use of necromancy magic.
Okay. Does it say like something about the trunk in the back?
That's what I was about to say. There doesn't seem to be any record of a trunk in the prisoner's car, like in the prisoner's car. The manifest is divided by what's in each car. You know it's in the prisoner's car. You look at that manifest. It just says the prisoner's stuff, and inside it says like 2 torches, a crate of torch oil, a package of flint, stuff like that. But it says nothing about a trunk, like a locked trunk.
Well, that's odd. Okay. I'm gonna like take all those. I'm gonna take all those documents and just like put them in my bag. And I guess, actually, can I look for like really quick? How long would it take for me to look for like animals, like tracking animal real quick?
You can roll a survival if you'd like.
Cool.
Ooh.
You guys, it's 3 hours roughly. I would say it's roughly like 9 a.m. The effects of the blizzard are still kind of around for the like. I'm not saying like remember the blizzard is over, but there is that kind of thicket of snow that is constantly covering up the tracks and stuff. But this is like the fresh powder footprints that are there are being dragged as opposed to like step out of the snow, make another step. It's like they're being dragged like long trails. So it just looks like long snakes, to be honest, for the most part.
Okay.
There's tracks everywhere.
Any is there any blood left on the corpse?
Blood
just,
left
like-
on the corpse? Because the corpse
Like-
is entirely bloodied.
No, like it's like I want to drain him to regain some hit points.
Oh, he's got no like fluids left. No, like the blood he did have has since frozen and like congealed into this dark kind of matter. now that his body's fully exploded, you know, everything that was inside is now outside and has begun to freeze and intermingle with the snow. So he's got no fluids left.
Okay. Well, in that case, I guess I'm just gonna get back in the carriage and like just wait for everybody to be backing and just start on the road back to Horseshoe Overpass or Horseshoe. What was it? Horseshoe Look?
Horseshoe Pass.
Horseshoe Pass. Gotcha.
Yeah. You guys see that Ghost hops onto the carriage. Is there any other checks you guys want to make before you head out? You and Blizzard. All right. Twig hops on the carriage. Whoop.
I will clamber into the carriage, but I would like to make a sleight of hand check to steal my fucking knife back.
Make a sleight of hand.
Don't we get like an opposing thing?
Mm-hmm.
What do I make?
Hold on.
Alright, come on, baby, come on, baby, come on, baby, come on, baby.
Make a perception check, DC 13. You need to tie or break it. Oh, you're a tiny person. There's not a lot on your own person that you don't feel, and one of those things that you do feel is your knapsack pops open, and you feel something slithering into into your pack.
Does Yosef have a knife on him?
Would you consider this that he's touching me?
He can be if you wanted to turn around and grab it.
Cool. I turn around, but I don't grab him. I just kind of, the way I turn around, they turn around so quickly that his hand kind of is still in the position it was just in. So when he turns, he's now just touching me by default.
You turn around and realize it's his tail that has unlocked and slithered into your bag.
Cool. So as I turn then, I can feel his tail on my shoulder, and I would like to use Toxic Body, which does 1d4 poison damage.
All right, go ahead and roll it.
There is no save.
Well, she does that. Can I?
Some type of damage.
Unknowingly to you, Twig has turned around, put a hand on the base of your tail, and you feel a severe burn just searing onto your scales.
Ow, 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 ow. I just pulls the reel it in.
Tail flicks out of the air.
Coddle it.
When he looks at the burn on his tail, it's like in a burnt shape of a smiley face.
Weird, but okay. Using your weird 3-pronged hand, you make a weird smiley face. Ghost, yeah, your perception check notices it.
But I'm also looking if does Yosef have a knife on him?
Yosef has not on him currently. But you do notice that in his coat, he's got a it's not a hunting knife, but it is like a survivalist's knife, so it's a little bit smaller.
Could he use it as a dagger?
He could use it as a dagger if he wanted to. Everything's a weapon if you know how to use it.
Yosef, can I? Sorry. Yosef, can I see your knife real quick?
You want go see my stabby stick?
I want to see the stabby stick. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Keep your pants on. Keep your pants on.
I was about to say. I was about to say that.
You see that he reaches down to undo the fly and goes, oh, yeah. Pulls out the long leather, the small leather sheath that he has from his coat. Turns it and he goes, here you go, boss. And he's like,
I'm just gonna chuck it to Blizzard.
You're gonna what?
I'm just gonna give it to Blizzard.
Okay, you reach into the window, Blizzard, as you're blowing on your tail, trying to get it to stop burning. A hand comes in through the window, and from the front of the carriage, you see that Ghost is handing you a knife.
How big is this window? Can I see his face?
Oh yeah, it's a narrow window, but it is definitely It's not so narrow that like you can't see out of it or that an arm can't go through, but it is long and narrow. I'd say maybe about like a little less than a foot, so maybe like 10 inches, like top to bottom.
Okay. Blizzard, reaches, accepts the knife, kind of like pats him on the wrist, and then just gives him a thumbs up.
You see that Yosef watches you give him his knife and he goes, "Oh, what you gonna do? You gonna change up my goddamn style, step stick, oh, all right, horses, come on now." Huh?
I'll get you when you stop the stick when we get to town.
He narrows his eyes on you, gives you a nod. He gives you a nod, whips the reins, horses kick it in the gear as he brings it around, and you guys head to the gates of Horseshoe Pass. You guys arrive at the makeshift walls of Horseshoe Pass. Logs that have been sharpened to make this kind of fence line palisade kind of thing surrounding the trading post / fishing village feel you get. The smell of oiled furs and soured meats hang above your heads like a fog that covers this place. At a quick glance, it seems like more of a camp than anything else. There are a few sheds and small cabins, but the only permanent structure seems to be a massive cylindrical longhouse tavern, the symbol of a wolf on its sign, and a worn shield in its a worn weathered shield in its window. The rickety carriage cautiously wheels into the village, grinding along the main roadway, getting closer to it and nearing a stable and hitching post. You find that the main roadway isn't exactly master-crafted by any means, as you find yourselves kind of bouncing inside the carriage on its velvet seats. Each of you, without having to roll, immediately feel the unfamiliar eyes of the scarce population of the village fall upon you, a mix of curiosity and suspicion.
Are we still in the carriage?
What's up?
Are we still like in the carriage?
Yeah, you guys pull into the stable where you see that Yosef again pulls it in. You see that one of the stable hands immediately comes up, meets Yosef at the thing, and they begin to tie it up. And you guys watch as Yosef hops off, hands over the reins to the stable hand, and starts to head in the tavern, leaving the three of you together to decide which you're going to do next. And with that, we are going to take a break. We will see you guys in a few minutes. All right, back from the break. Let's get back into it. Mics are hot. Here we go. last we left off, Yosef had handed the ropes off to the stable hand, where he'd begun to tie up up the horses for future use. You guys see, as he hands off the reins, he begins to head into the tavern, leaving you by yourselves. As he heads off, does anybody want to do anything, or you guys want to come up with something by yourselves?
Blizzard is going to make a quick scribble on a piece of paper. It is just going to read, "Take anything they won't notice that you'll take," and he's gonna just like hold it in front of where he thinks Twig's eyes are.
What the fuck? You get a note in front of you.
Twig just walks away, and as they're walking away, you can kind of just see these weird little hand movements. And if you perceive it, which I will allow it, you just see little knickknacks being grabbed every here and there.
You just see like some people like it's like that classic scene of like people doing their laundry outside. You take somebody's shirt. You take the shirt and the the clips. You
must remember.
Like a bucket. You don't even take the bucket. You take the washboard from the
Yeah,
bucket.
you must remember Twig literally lived in the forest their whole lives. They don't know what is and is not of value. They take whatever they think will help them. That's why I have like 6 shirts on right now.
You're so good at control, guys.
At this point, seeing this, Blizzard will eat the piece of paper to destroy the evidence.
And it's so aggressive. Again, gator mouth. It's just like gap, 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 gap. Like real quick, if anybody wants to roll me a insight or a history check, please.
Insight for sure.
Insight for sure. Ooh, good rolls, good rolls.
Yeah.
We're all dumb, huh? None of us rolled the intelligence shit.
I mean, I chose by just 1 point.
Okay, so Blizzard and Ghost, as you destroy the evidence, that like the good criminal you are. You and Ghost kind of come to this realization at the same time. When Yosef walked away, right? The people around you guys didn't seem to pay him any mind. But you guys, on the other hand, are drawing a lot of attention. So it's like this. Horseshoe Pass clearly isn't a very wealthy little village. And you can tell like a lot of the people here aren't very educated. Like have a public education, right? It's more like they're taught the necessities of how to survive in the Rimefrost.
I feel that.
And it's really weird because those people.
Would you compare them to like the natives of like Alaska or like old?
Yes, they give you
like Eskimo.
They
people?
give you very necessity, the necessity of a person vibes, as opposed to like when you go to school, when you go to public school, they teach you like different kinds of maths and different kinds of sciences and stuff like that, and stuff that you may never use. As opposed to a school that teaches you like the basics of addition and like basics of addition, subtraction, and like multiplication, stuff like that. But they don't really teach you necessarily like science necessarily, more like, like a health class.
Tastes good.
Yeah.
Feed your
So what
family.
you're saying is we're not gonna find an actual physicist in here, right?
Right. I'm saying weirdly enough, the people here give you Yosef vibes. Like they give you not very much not like, city boy hillbilly vibes. They give you like, Yosef doesn't make any unnecessary moves that would go outside of like what it is he's trying to do. Like he's just the driver. That's why he didn't help you during the fight, right?
Yeah.
You tell him where you need to go, he will drive you there, but he does nothing else. He didn't fight you when you guys stuck him up when you tried to like open the carriage on him and stuff. Yeah, the people are a lot like that. Nobody comes up to you or approaches you or questions about where you're from. They just kind of look at you from a distance, but do the main things that they need to do to survive. So, you can tell that, yes, that's how they are, and that Yosef kind of blends in here. So the villagers don't, like I said, they don't shoot him skeptical vibes. They do look at the lot of you with the skeptical vibes. So if you felt so inclined, it's possible that they might feel more comfortable giving him information or selling things to him as opposed to you guys.
Is there anybody that looks like they're like important in the village? Like, is there a mayor? Or maybe like somebody who's like clergy?
So,
or...
yeah, that's true. There's definitely not a mayor here. This place doesn't, like I said, this place doesn't look like it has the infrastructure to have a mayor. It is, like I said, it's more of a village or a campsite than it is a village.
Seen, like rural Alaska? That's exactly what I'm picturing.
Yeah, it's cabins and sheds for houses.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I was like, so if you guys want to try and start to procure some information, how would you like to go about doing that, or what would you like to, like, where would you like to start?
I think I'd like... No, you go first.
Okay. Can I ask you a question?
What's up?
What are the what is like the general race of the people in town?
You get a lot of humans. You see a couple, like a lot of humans, a lot of dwarves, lot of orcs.
Like full-on orc?
Like you see some half orcs and you see some full-blooded orcs.
Gotcha.
Follow-up question for you. What are the races of the corpses that I've backup rations?
I believe, ironically, the two people that you harvested from, terrible word, but yeah, I think we're both humans.
Oh, fuck. I want to do something stupid, but I feel like Blizzard would be smarter than that in a town full of humans. Blizzard would, like to find a non-human, like, furs trader, anyone giving warm clothes, basically. But specifically non-human.
So there's not a lot of bona fide shops around. There's a couple of people who are just like, clearly this dude's a tanner because he's got a whole bunch of furs that are sitting out in the front of his front yard that are just strung up, like you know what I mean. But it's not like he's got like a whole counter and stuff set up to exchange goods and services. But yeah, you can definitely find like a fur trader or something who's just like got a whole bunch of furs stacked on themselves in this big box, like by his house. Can you roll me a charisma check, please, with disadvantage?
Okay. Follow-up question, just real quick. Are they human?
No, they are not human.
Oh, thank God. All right, one charisma check. Yeah, that's not that good.
You hate to hear it, guys.
That's a 4.
He eyes you very, not, I guess, suspiciously. I use that word a lot, but he eyes you very suspiciously as you approach.
Okay, I gotta be creative here. So, Blizzard is going to stick his tail into the snow and spell out the word trade and a question mark.
He goes, Tarn? Blizzard, what languages do you speak?
I speak. I'm gonna have to fact check that on the Dungeon Master sheet because I don't even know if it's on the Fantasy Ground sheet. Is it a proficiency? Is it a proficiency? I guess it would be a proficiency, right? Languages are proficiencies, aren't they?
Yes.
Oh God. Proficiencies, language. I know Common and Draconic.
Yeah, you immediately as he starts to talk, you clearly see that he has no idea what the word that you just wrote in the sand or in the snow was. He like sounded it out, and that's not what the word says.
Can I go get Yosef from the tavern? The bar?
Yosef isn't at the tavern yet. Remember, he just got off the carriage, so you can actually catch him before he gets to the tavern.
Yeah, I want to catch him before he gets there.
You see that you get to him. He goes, "Yeah, boss."
Yeah, so doesn't seem like these people are going to, I guess, get along with us that well. Would you mind being a middleman slash translator for us?
Roll me a persuasion check, please.
No.
Oh my God! The way you said that, it just broke me.
Oof.
You see that he goes, "Come on now, boss. I ain't no translator. I'm just a driver. I know spy."
I'm gonna flash 2 gold in front of him.
Ooh.
You seem to have piqued his interest, but it doesn't look like 2 gold's gonna
5
cut it.
gold.
You put 5 gold in his hand, and you see he goes, "Boss man, you don't gonna drive a hard bargain."
10 gold.
He goes, "Now that's some money. I gotta put that on my teeth for something." You see that he takes your 10 gold, pockets it, and you see that he looks back at the tavern. A tear rolls down his eye, and then he like wipes where the tear would be, and he goes, "All right, well, you gonna put me to? Come on, who it?"
Alright. Would you mind? I think Blizzard needs help.
No, I don't. No, I don't. I got this.
Hey, you're
Fuck
the one
you.
that wanted to try to trade with somebody. I'm just
No,
trying to help
I can
you.
do this.
Do you stop me somehow?
I can't stop you, but I can do this. I can do this.
All right, what's the play?
So after realizing that neither of us speak the same language, God, do I have any money on me? Cause like I was a prisoner. I don't know what the fuck's in my inventory. I've got like nothing.
Twig walks over to where you're standing, pulls the lone boot from their bag, holds it up, and points to the fur.
You want to trade a boot for the fur? Is that what you're trying to do?
It's not just a boot. You said it's a sabaton. That's metal. That's
Yeah.
wood metal.
You see that
armor.
the trader looks at you, and then looks at all of you, realizes he has no idea what the fuck is going on. You, boom, set the boot on the table.
Can I like draw little arrows in the snow with my tail and like point the boot to him and then go over to his fur rack and point the fur to us?
Here's what I'll say. If one of you wants to give me a raw, I'll say wisdom check. Raw wisdom. Make that for me, please.
I have a +2. What are we looking at here, gang?
Yeah, you're gonna want. I have a +1.
All right, so it's me, baby.
So what you're doing is you're gonna try to. Oh God. So he seems interested in the boot, more so the metal of the boot. He's more interested in the metal of the boot. Maybe he'll sell it to somebody to reforge it into something. The problem is that you don't know the value of said boot. So I would advise that moving forward, whatever it is that you guys are trying to get, like, understand that you don't know how much your boot costs. This is a crazy conversation that we're having, by the way.
Oh yes.
Like,
No,
Why would
that is
Twig-
fully why I'm going down.
Why
the
would
rabbit
Twig-
hole of fuck your translator?
Why would Twig know or need to know how much this boot is. They don't give a shit. They say
It's-
boot
It's
fur.
right, but
I'm
it's
a thief by trade.
it's
Would I
more
be
like
able to guess,
you should
like,
you
a
want to
estimate?
you don't know how much like what quality of fur you would be able to trade for.
They don't care. They're literally just. They're not thinking like that. They're thinking, I got a boot, you got a fur.
You see that, so you put the thing on, you've rolled your check. He pulls out this kind of like, you know those like tall, like fur, like hats, those cylindrical hats? Those like big old tall, round, cylindrical like fur hats. They're like toboggans.
Like the Russian ones.
Yeah, like those like Russian, like, what are those called? Oh, I know what it is. It's on the tip of my tongue. We'll come back to it. But yeah,
Like the Royal Guard wear.
Yes, exactly. There's just tall fur hats. He points to one of these. He's, like, willing to trade you it for your boot.
Deal.
He starts to pull the boot off of the counter, and he starts to hand you that.
I immediately put it over my mushroom cap.
It doesn't even fit. It's too narrow. Like, it's too, like...
I cut it open and then lay it over my mushroom cap.
What do you cut it with?
I have thieves' tool. I'm sure I have something sharp.
Not to cut a hat open.
Well, I do have a knife.
You could use the knife, yeah. You just cut it open to like a big old fabric.
Yeah, and then I use the like moss and sappy stuff that comes off of my inky cap, and I use that to stick it on. Basically, I just
It hangs down both sides like weird drapes. You successfully have traded boots for a fur.
boots for the fur.
Why, of all things, why a hat? Why not like a covering? Why a hat?
It just seems like that
Look,
was what
man,
he was willing to
You're
trade you.
asking a mushroom person.
I am asking a mushroom.
They don't care. If it's warm and it works, they don't care.
Can I ask?
I'm especially mad because look, whatever.
Can I ask Joseph to ask them if they have any light winter clothes, like something that's not gonna require us to have a strength score?
You see, he goes, I can give a holler. He goes, fellow man, how you, what's going good? And you see, he goes, and he's like, oh, you speak the green tongue.
Oh my God, does he speak old?
You're undone person. You're in, garden tongue. And you see it goes, oh, garden tongue. And you see that he starts to opens his little tent, and he comes out with like a big old like thing of they look like kind of almost like ponchos, like the fur that would be like kind of like a poncho, and just starts to lay them out on the table. Yes, it seems like Yosef speaks whatever language this is.
Gotcha. And it said like, is it gonna be like does it require like a strength score?
They seem lighter, but it doesn't seem as effective as the heavier one is.
Gotcha.
So it looks like it'll keep you protected from the cold, whether that is, you're making con saves with a lower DC, but it seems that the heavier one is a lower DC and advantage.
Did Yosef ever tell us a price? Did he just put them on the table?
Oh no,
Like,
he just asked if the guy had any furs to help in the winter, like help with the cold.
How much for them?
Mananan. And then the guy goes, Ashandish. He goes, he said something along the line of like 3 gold.
Each?
Yeah. He said he'll sell it for 3 monies.
Sully, can I ask you a really, really, really strange question?
What's that?
So how much does meat typically go for?
Depends on the meat. Like depends on the meat and depends on the cut cut.
What if it was human meat?
Here's what I'll say.
God damn it.
These guys are not very smart. Okay? But clearly, no rolls needed, just doing a quick look around. The one thing that they do, in fact do, is hunt. Right? So it seems like they know their meat. And that means all cuts. So if you are trying to pull one over by selling human remains to a meat trader,
I'm not trying to pull it over on
I'm just saying,
trying
look,
to straight
look.
up put a fucking arm on the table and
I'm just saying your persuasion check is going to be bananas. But you can certainly try, my friend.
I am choking on soda. Fuck.
Don't do it.
Look, he said there's a chance.
Yeah, there's always a chance.
It's a bonkers chance. But
There's a chance I could go to the Olympics this year. It's not gonna happen. There's a chance.
I mean, it wouldn't be this year, but yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's like in 2 months.
Okay. let me think about this for a minute. Calm down. You can
I'm just
cycle
letting you
to
know you
someone
do
else.
this thing. I'm going to do the best of my abilities to not let this happen.
Just,
I don't want to have to run from this town after they chase us with fucking torches and
no,
pitchforks.
I got a brilliant idea. Okay.
God.
This dude's like
Oh, Lord.
So this dude does furs, does he also do leather?
Yeah, it seems like he specifically, if you want leather, you're going to want to do the guy that, like, does animal skin as opposed to animal fur. So, like, the tanner.
Well, yeah, but I was at, okay. So, I'm just gonna, alright, I'm gonna pull out my backup rations.
You just pull out a bunch of, like, dried jerky and stuff and, like, dried berries.
No, these are the fucking corpse bits that I've been collecting.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
With one hand, I'm gonna grab a poncho and just throw it on top of him and hide it. And
I'm gonna kneel down on the ground and I'm gonna start trying to peel the skin from the meat.
On plain sight?
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
Please, like-
Okay. Here's what we're
So
going to do.
in this moment, Twig walks away.
Heard. Blizzard, what tool proficiencies do you have?
Thieves' tools.
Okay. I need you to make a first off, give me a survival check with disadvantage.
Alright, I can do that for Alright, disadvantage. I'm literally crying right now. I just want you. I really hope that you know that. I am in literal tears.
Okay. And then make a dexterity check with disadvantage.
Dex check. Okay.
Wait. Can I grab one of the ponchos and just throw it on top of him to hide the back of ration?
Just try and fucking cloak me real
So here's what you do. You reach up, grab the poncho, yank it off the table.
And with the other hand, I'm throwing him like 3 gold. And how much the poncho's worth?
Okay. Yeah. You throw the 3 gold, you pull the poncho off, throw it over Blizzard. Blizzard, your DC is now higher because you're doing this in the dark.
I'm doing it in the dark. Oh, fuck me, man. So, raw dex check. No,
Raw dex in the dark.
No proficiency.
No proficiency.
High numbers, baby. Woo!
That's decent. So, good news. The cubes that you cut are
I'm trying to, like, I'm not trying to, like, take the meat off the bone. I'm trying to take the skin off of it.
No, I know. So luckily it looks great. Like you are dexterous at the hand. You know, you've got nimble fingers. Your handiwork is, especially in the dark, admirable. The problem is thus. The wisdom or the survival check I had you roll prior was to determine if you were able to figure out what part of the meat you needed to cut for it to pass as not human meat?
Well, I'm not trying to not. Okay, I am not trying to hide the fact that it is human meat. I want to make that open.
Oh, let me rephrase it. Let me rephrase what I'm trying to say. There are parts of animals that you keep when you cut and skin it and you take the parts that you need. And there are parts that you throw away.
Like the head.
Like the head, you know, some cultures keep the eyes and stuff because you can eat the eyes and stuff. But you don't keep, like, the heads unless it's like a fish because there's
Like
not,
the hands.
the hands because they're too bony, they're too sinewy. But that's what the wisdom check was for. And the pieces that you do after peel it, like, here's the thing. You peel, hands, like, swift and clean cuts all the way through. The poncho comes off, and it reveals that even though all the skin has been carved off, you have nothing but unusable meat underneath.
Okay, so the meat's bad now.
It's just not the part of the meat. Like, you would eat it as a lizard folk, but somebody who would eat meat, like, just from an animal and not like a savage would, like an underdeveloped civilization would. They wouldn't eat it raw. They would still cook it. It just wouldn't look pretty. They're not going to eat it because they recognize this is a part of an animal, you know, asterisk, that isn't good meat.
Alright. So I have de-skinned it. Can I now attempt to get all of the meat off the bone?
Yeah, it's real stringy.
I really hate that descriptor. Do you need me to roll anything for that? Or
Yeah, give me another dex check.
is it with advantage or disadvantage?
It's a
still?
straight roll. You can see it now.
Okay, straight roll. Come on, baby.
Dude, as soon as the claws and the blades touch the meat, it just falls off and it's a giant stringy mess.
All right. Well, I'm not after the meat here. I'm after the bone.
The bone is still the bone is there, but if you wanted to sell the meat before, you may have gotten like a real shitty deal from it before, like somebody who was just like, I'll buy it and I'll put it in a stew or something. You actually cannot use the meat now. It is unusable, but the bone is still there.
But can I still eat the meat?
You can still eat the meat, yes, but there
Okay.
you have destroyed all of the profit margin that was even close to possible.
Okay. Well, I have a bone now,
You have a whole bone.
and I have skin leather. Well, I have skin that can be turned into leather. All right. So one of my race features is cunning artisan. Part of a short rest. I can turn bone into like tools. So, I would like to turn this into like it literally says here I can turn it into a javelin. I would like to turn this into a spear. Like a throwing spear, but like something you could hunt with.
Okay, that sounds good. It is part of a short rest though, so you're gonna be out for the next like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm gonna
Okay.
just sit down in front of this dude's hut just getting to work.
I'm gonna cover him with a poncho again.
You see that the thing is like, hey, talk about Ishka! And he goes, hey, the Vishtika. And then he looks at Yosef and goes, oh, the Vishtika? He's like, the Vishtika.
Joseph, what is he saying?
Hmm?
What's he saying?
Oh, he said, what the crazy little dude gonna be doing? And I said, oh, he make a food.
He's really, tell him he's really picky about who sees him eating. So that's why I'm covering him. No, he's
Yeah,
not shady at all.
yeah, I'd be counting birds too if you was watching me gobble down some gobble gobble.
What'd you say, Joe?
Are you just forcibly dragging me out of line of sight of the fucking citizenry?
Honestly, yes.
You just drag across the snow behind, like, into an alleyway.
You're still like working on the bone.
I've like
just,
scooped
dragging
all the
you.
meat into my pockets for later.
It's going to spoil immediate, like so soon. There's just no preservation going on. Twig and Ghost.
Wait, give me a thing. I would like to speak to Blizzard.
Okay.
Blizzard, you don't talk much. Can you understand me?
Nods.
You cannot do that shit.
Blizzard is gonna give him the most innocent, like purely puzzled look you could possibly give a person.
Look, I know your people do that. I don't care. I eat people too. That's fine.
He does the little circle with his tail in the snow again with the arrows, like, and he points at it.
Can I have a little piece of meat?
Is he asking for meat?
Yes.
Oh, you want some meat? It digs into his pocket, gives him a little chunk, little string.
I'm just gonna suck the blood out of the meat. He's gonna leave like gray goo in my hand. Whatever just liquid in the meat, I'm just gonna suck it out and leave like goo in my hand, just to show him that I'm cool with it. I'm okay with it.
Would I be weirded out by this?
You're weird, not in the sense that he's eating meat. As like I said, as a lizard folk, you've seen people eat like whole pigs.
The way that he described it, he said he's sucking the blood out.
Yeah, no, I'm saying you see him, he doesn't even eat it. He bites into it, and then there's just gray goo left. I would say you're more weirded out at the fact that he didn't eat it. It's like you asked me for food and then didn't eat it. Like, that's weird.
Yeah. But, like, how do I describe this? Is this the type of thing that would set off alarm bells in my head?
Maybe, like, remember, I'm trying to tell you, like, explain this based on, like, your race. It's not weird to see people eat differently, but it is weird to offer up food, like I gave you my hard-earned food, and then you did not eat it. That's weird. The second thing is that it's like, not only did you not eat it, but you ruined the food. Like, that's where your alarm bells go off, because he ruined the food. Like, he's the kind of guy that if you try to feed, will not eat your food and ruin it. Like, that's not cool. That's weird. That's not cool. That's your alarm bells.
Can I try and force feed him, like, gray, whatever sinew is left that he like, drained the color from it, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And I just get up and put it in his mouth.
I would say you can, but you will be losing progress on making your spear.
It's fine. I'll eat it.
It's like a baby eating, like, just like the worst baby, just like, so good. Like,
I get why you people like this. This is really good. Anyways, just don't do that. Like, you see, I'm cool with it, but not everybody is. It can bring us a lot of unwanted attention. So
I'm gonna give him another puzzled look and just be like, I'm just gonna look at the meat that's like still in my hand. I'm gonna put it back in my pocket, and I'm just gonna shake my head like, I don't get it, and I'm just gonna keep working.
Sounds good. He's doing that. Twig, you and Ghost have time in the town if you'd like.
okay,
How much time?
Well, it depends on how much time you want to, use up here. You know that I don't know if it means anything to Twig, but like I know, for example, like Ghost, you winged Wick, so it's possible that he regained consciousness and then is hiding somewhere in the town. Like I said, I don't know if that means anything to you, Twig, but it's honestly however much time you want to spend in the town before moving on to your next objective, whatever that may be.
I guess I'll go with Yosef to ask. Like, I'll go into the tavern with him and ask, like, the bartender about the area. Like, if there's like a cave around.
You see Joseph heading around. You see Joseph he ends up leading you into the tavern, explaining that the best place to get information is from a drunk man. And after digging around,
Are you that drunk man, Joseph?
huh?
Are you that drunk man, Joseph?
He goes, hey, that's the thing there, boss man. I'm always drunk.
Are you really? That's
Yeah,
quite impressive.
I'm always drunk.
Can I?
Hmm?
Can I roll for like a perception? See if like his breath smells like alcohol.
Sure.
God
You
damn it.
you narrow your eyes. You take in the aroma of his breath, and as you open your eyes to see if you can identify the smell, he is inches from you with his flask, downing it in front of your face.
Oh, you were. Never mind. I don't want to know. You were driving. Nope.
Yeah. Yep. Full driving. Driving and drunk.
Anyways, let's just keep trying to get information.
Yeah. Information. Yozo is bad.
So yeah, I'll follow him into the tavern.
You see, he's. I can't. That voice makes me crack up. You see, he starts to dig around. You see that the information that he is able to gather is that, he starts to ask. What do you? Here's what I'll say. What do you ask Yosef to ask the patrons of the bar? Like, what do you want him to? What information do you want?
I'm specifically looking for the like a cave, like a cave around here that, like, I'm gonna try to like describe where Wick fell and see if there's any other entrance to that. Like, if I have to climb the side of the mountain, so be it. But if there's any way that we could get in there through here.
You see, he goes, oh yeah, they know about that there cave. They say you gotta climb on down to get to it. Or you gotta head out into the Rimefrost to go and find the other doorway. But you could climb. That's the quickest way. It's just south of town.
Just south of town.
Yeah, real close.
Okay. Do you know if the bartender speaks common, or like, does he speak the common tongue, or is he speaking that green tongue you mentioned earlier?
You see, he goes, hey, Kalakaram. And you see, he goes, hey. He goes, yeah, he go speak the common tongue.
Okay. Well, go fetch yourself a drink. I'll handle the rest.
He goes, no need, already got one. Starts to throw that throws his flask back.
Well, go get a refill then. I don't know. I'll go talk to the bartender.
Okay. Big stocky dwarven guy. Just tons of locks in his beard that are like braided. With these like braided on some parts, but then they have like these stone bands on other ones that almost like completely cover his mouth. Like when he speaks, the mustache and beard move as opposed to like you seeing his lips go. And you see that he you head up to the bar and he just immediately looks at you, and there is immediately like there is a sense of distrust in the air. You see, he looks at you. He looks at you. He goes, your friend said you speak the common tongue, so what can I get you?
A mug of your best ale.
Aye, I can get you that. You see, he turns around. Big old barrels, like big old barrels. Clearly the wood has like been around for a while, probably just fermenting this ale or whatever's inside for a long time. And you see he gets you a drink. Sets it down in front of you.
So the cave around here. What do you know about it?
Not much. We like to keep to ourselves. Not many people go down there. Couldn't quite tell you much.
Gotcha. Do you guys have any trouble with monsters around here, or just the occasional owlbear? Sorry, snowy owlbear.
He goes, ha, you're a funny one, yeah? Yeah, we got some snowy owl bears. We also got polar bears. And we got Arctic bears. Not to be confused with the polar bears.
Oh, I see you know your bears, my friend.
Yeah, because my mum was a tanner and a hunter.
Can I roll a nature check to see how much I know about bears to see if I can bond with them?
Sure, roll a nature check.
God damn it.
You are stuck on the fact that he said both polar bears and Arctic bears. You're like, wow, you really know your bears. There's two different kinds of, like, snow bears? What the fuck? Like,
that's crazy. Okay, so who would know more about the surrounding areas?
well, depends on the information you're going for. Father Brum, who's in the cathedral, he seems to be the one who's been here the longest. Probably could point you on your way. And he goes, your friend who speaks the green tongue, he said you're looking for some kind of bird fella. If he's injured as you said he was, Father Brum is probably tending to his wounds and such.
I'm just gonna like. So have you seen the bird fella around here?
Not me particularly. He didn't come in for a drink, you know. Hell, if he's as hurt as your friend says he was, that's the first thing I'd have gone. Is the drowning me pain in the grog. But if he's bleeding out and don't got much time left, he probably went to see Father Brown for a pet shop.
I'm gonna just chug whatever's left of my ale and go bolt straight to Father Brown.
Can you roll me a con save, please?
Yeah. God damn it.
You immediately, you slam it, nothing happens at first. It's the minute you stand up, all of that hits you at once. You spend a second doing a quick puke onto the ground, loud splash coats the ground, and he goes, hey, I got to mop that up, and it's not easy when the water freezes. You wipe your mouth off, give him like a, my bad, as you head out of the tavern.
I'm actually, because that happened, I'm gonna put a couple of gold, like 5 gold in the, how much was the drink?
It's 2 silver.
Yeah, I'm gonna put like a start of like 5 gold in there for the trouble of like me puking on the floor.
He goes, thanks, but I can't make a mop out of gold pieces. But I appreciated the tip. And you see he takes it, puts it into his pocket.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna leave and go talk to the priest.
You, as you're heading out, he goes, have Father Brum's around the way. You can't miss it. It's a big old pointy building. And you head out the doors. Big old saloon, like big old heavy duty saloon style doors. You come out, Twig, you see him come out the front door, bends around the corner, and you see it's like a smaller steeple. It's not nearly as high. Because again, the only permanent like structure is the tavern. Even the steeple looks like it's made haphazardly of like multiple tents.
Okay. Is there like doors in the front?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's made of like it's mainly made of like fabrics and stuff, but there is a door on it, like a not so heavy wooden door that you are able to open up. There's only about 3 pews inside that sit in front of a podium, like a little wooden podium where he probably gives, like this Father Brown probably gives sermons and such. And you see that there is you can actually see into where the other tents are connected. So like one of them looks like a med ward where like people who are injured would be. One of them looks like maybe like where confession would be or some kind. And you see a tall gentleman maybe like 6'5", long, oily black hair in strands that goes down to his back. Beard that is also very, very long and oily, shiny and like black and shiny. Thick eyebrows making a monobrow, big old bulbous nose. Wearing what looks to be like somebody made him a clergyman's robe off of what they think a clergyman's robe looks like. So it's only like it's not very accurate is what I'm trying to say, but it is like it does have some like holy icon, like, and it does have like some sort of like what's the word I'm looking for?
It's like off-brand.
It's but like he does have some kind of like like seraphic iconography on it, you know.
You Father Brom.
I am Father Brom. He goes, what can our Lord and Savior do for you?
You seen a fella come by here with black feathers and long beaks? Probably just repeats whatever you tell him.
Why, is the lad in trouble?
Oh no, absolutely not. He's a friend. We lost him. We lost him a ways back. I'm always worried about him and trying to find him and help him get back on his feet.
You see, he goes, roll a deception check, please.
Yikes, not good. No.
That's still decent. You see, he goes, well, as a friend, I'm sure you understand how important it is to protect those who are injured and still recovering.
If I were able to see him, it would just calm me so much. I've been having such bad sleep for the last few days, just worrying then about him. We traveled all the way from, what was the city again that we left?
Omeria.
We traveled all the way from Omeria. Just had heard the news that he made a trip up north. Just let me see him, please.
Make a persuasion check, please.
His wife asked me to find him.
What's up?
I'm saying his wife asked me to find him.
Okay, make a persuasion check, please.
God damn it.
You see, he goes, I'm so very upset to hear that his wife is so worried about his well-being. But there's no bird fell around here. Left a while ago. Make a perception check, please. I'll say make a perception or insight, up to you.
22.
Okay, 22. So he tells you that Wick isn't here. You take a second to because again you're a bounty hunter. You're very perceptive. You know not to take things at face value. You notice that lying next to one of the cots is the bag that Wick left the carriage with. Like his backpack is there.
Oh well, that's a shame. I guess I'll go and try to find him later. Yeah, I guess I'll just walk out of the building. And is there like a side door or like windows that I could look through into like?
Remember, this whole building is a giant stitching of multiple tents. You could just probably sneak in under one of the tents.
Gotcha. It's kind of a long shot, but I imagine that Ghost, after hunting Wick for so long, would kind of like know his smell, pretty much. Like if he works with like booby traps, he probably has like a particular smell to him, like explosives. Can I roll a survival to see if I could pick up that trail?
Absolutely. You could roll a survival to check him.
15.
15. So let me ask you this. Do you walk outside?
Yeah, I'm pretty much I walk outside and I'm trying to pick up the smell from like where the smell is strongest outside. Like,
Okay.
while walking around the building.
You walk outside. And it's not the smell that you see. It is that as you circle around on the side that is that medical ward side, you notice that the part of the bottom of the tent is disturbed, and so is the snow, making some sort of groove, as if somebody crawled underneath it.
With a 15, do I pick up that trail, or would I have to roll again?
You see that there are like feathers that have like bloodied feathers that are along that as well.
So somebody that crawled out, or somebody
It definitely looks like somebody crawled in.
Crawled in, gotcha. Well, I'm gonna try to sneak in. Let me roll stealth. Oh god.
You go to reach your hand under, take a look around. You realize that the clergy, the cathedral, the steeple, the church tent, is kind of in public. So you don't think that you will have the ability to sneak in basically in broad daylight out in the open. You don't think you could do it. At least not without getting caught.
Okay, is there like a tree line or something nearby this side of the cathedral that I can just like sit there and just wait and observe the area?
Yeah, you can. Like, nobody seems to care that you're in Horseshoe Pass, right? You know, they keep to themselves and they've got their homes, and you can't wait there. But if you were just gonna wait in the middle of the street like some sort of beggar, like, that's up to you. There are not a lot of trees. I won't say there's not a lot. There are no trees inside of Horseshoe Pass, since it is kind of a trading post, fisherman's village. It looks like they chopped all the trees down in the area and built the town on top of that cleared out field.
Is the tent sturdy enough to where I can climb on top of it and just kind of like sit there looking down on where the tent is disturbed? Or would it just fall apart if I try to climb on top of it?
There's definitely no way to know until you climb on top.
Okay, I'm gonna use my spider climb. I'm very carefully walk up, and at the first sign that I see of the tent giving in to my weight, I'm just gonna get down and find a different way.
You start to climb up, and within the first couple of steps of your feet being on the top, you definitely feel it starting to decompress from your weight. Like, it is definitely starting to give. But you said you had already queued up a move to hop off as soon as that started happening. So you jump off, and you see that there is a part of the roof that is kind of like in a little bit. It is a little bit concave.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like the tent will fall as a result. It just looks like somebody was standing on top of it. But yeah, luckily you got off.
Okay, I'm just gonna find like a place to sit and look inconspicuous. And I'm gonna sit by the off to the side of the church, look into in an angle that I can see the part that was disturbed and the front door. And I'm just gonna pull out my tinker tools and just kind of pretend that I'm working on my crossbow.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a stealth check with advantage then.
Gotcha. Wait, I can do this easier. $24.
Ooh, juicy. Time definitely goes by. Like a large amount of time definitely does go by. And you see that at some point, Father Brum leaves the tent with a a circular wooden tray in his hand, and begins to head towards the back of the tavern. Like, it looks like to be some kind of meal tray.
Nobody comes. Like, is the meal tray full?
No, the meal tray is empty.
So he's getting the meal and then probably bringing it back. I guess I'll try to trail him.
Okay. Using your 24 stealth, no problem. Like, you were already inconspicuous when he came out. He looked to his left, looked to his right, doesn't see anybody that's, like, around, heads to the back of the tavern, which is kind of, like, down a set of hills to the back of the tavern, knocks on the door. You see that the tavern keeper opens up the door. The two of them exchange pleasantries. He heads into the back where they're like, it's not like, that's not suspicious, right? Like, the way that he enters, because that looks to be like, you can see that there is a window on the back, and that seems to be where the kitchen is, where the two of them are exchanging, like, very, like, common, just from tone of voice, it seems like they're familiar with one another and whatnot. But the tavern keeper just seems to hand him some breads, some breads, a couple of fruits, some, like, granola, it looks like, or some nuts, and Father Brum walks back out the back door and begins to make his way back to his little church tent.
Gotcha. And he goes back into through the main door, I imagine, right?
Yeah, he just walked right into the front.
Okay, can I go and try to hide inside the church?
Sure. I will need a new stealth check, though.
Cool. Don't fail me. 15?
15. You head inside using what pews they do have as cover as you kind of like army crawl across the ground. You see that Father Brum is heading towards the medical wing. You sticking very close or sticking behind using the tent as cover. That's on the inside, and like there's a small bookcase that you hide behind. And you see that Father Brum kneels down to one of the beds. The bed is on your side, so you can only see the front of Father Brum as he's kneeling down, and you just hear he goes, "Now rest easy. You must get food in the lest you starve or hurt yourself." Father Brum seems to be talking to somebody.
Can I get to Wick's backpack without Brom noticing me?
Ooh. Okay. You have a sleight of, or you have a stealth of 15. I am going to roll. Ooh, I'm going to turn on the rolls. Give me 1 second. Show GM rolls. Okay. Father Brum is clergy. If he had a class, it would likely be cleric that scales off of wisdom. Okay? Father Brum has a +5 to his perception. Okay?
Can I still back out of this?
Oh, no.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, that is a 15. He did tied or beat your stealth check. So I'm going to need you to roll a sleight of hand check, but you do not get advantage or disadvantage. It is a straight roll. You want to beat a 15. That's a 17. Let's go. You see that he is very interested in whoever it is that he's talking to. Like, he seems to be very much trying to get this person back up to full health.
Before I straight up grab the backpack, can I just look around for booby traps? Because I know this motherfucker.
The bag does not seem to be booby trapped. Actually, the bag looks like it was kind of ditched off to kill the weight on Wick, which is exactly who you see lying in the bed, trying with the giant baby bird eyes looking at Dr. Brum as as Father Brum gives him little pieces that are it's like a loaf of bread that's been cut into slices. As he's trying to feed him these slices of bread, a horribly injured Wick. It
doesn't look like Father Brum lives here.
No, it looks like Father Brum lives here. It just looks like Wick is a guest in his house, like an injured person in his house that he's just trying to help.
I guess for now I'll just grab his backpack.
You grab his bag, you swipe the bag, pull it around the corner. The bag is in your hands.
I'm gonna go to his possession.
Okay. Inside, you do not need to roll a perception check since you are looking at the bag firsthand. You see a arrow in which the shaft is made of 3 bones, like 3 smaller bones. It is a full arrow that is made of bones. It has like an obsidian stone arrowhead. You see a small kind of like knife. It's like one of those like those rollout bags, like a little bandolier. Which is color coded with 4. It has 4 cigars in it, color coded with a red band, a blue band, a black band, a yellow band, a green band, and a blue band. And you see that on top of the bag, kind of draped over the top, is Wick's armor, which is studded leather.
Is it just like regular studded leather, or is it like?
It looks very well. It looks very well made. Like for it being like it looks. That's all I can really say is that it looks well made. Looking at looking back to the soldiers that escorted you guys, it looks like whoever crafted this crafted it better than theirs.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take the backpack.
You take Wick's bag as full of all of those things, and you know where Wick is.
Yeah.
Anything you want to do? Any insight, perceptions, or anything you want to make?
Yeah, can I roll for an insight to see how long it's gonna take for Wick to recover? Actually, can I roll? What will you need for that? Actually,
give me a medicine check.
Medicine? Okay. Not great.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to tell. You don't know the severity of his wounds necessarily. Like, you know that he's beat up. He's beat to hell. But he's sitting up and he's eating. So he's not on... When you shot him out of the air, he went fully unconscious on top of a rock. He's up, he's eating, so he's definitely wounded still, but not critically wounded as he was before.
Gotcha. Okay, so I don't think I can pull off, like, sneaking through Father Brahm and killing Wick right here, right now. I don't think I can pull it off.
Sure. Just because I have to ask, did you want to make any checks on Father Brahm, or are you just letting him, like, you don't worry about it?
Can I roll an insight? I want to see if he's helping Wick out of the goodness of his heart, or if they're like kind of not bodies in crime, but like he notices that Wick is not a good person, and he kind of like motivates him to help him. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me an insight.
Ah, great, man. I'm rolling like shit today.
Hey, happens to the best of us. Even with a 9, I can tell you this. You see no familiarity between Wick and Father Brahm. They don't seem to know each other. Father Brahm, on a 9, looks like he is someone with some kind of divine insight. And like just in the way that he carries himself and the way that he keeps obviously his faith close to him with all of these symbols of some god that are all over the place. So you gather that he has no idea who Wick is, and he just wants to help Wick because that's what his god would tell him to do, or something along those lines.
Actually, I changed my mind about taking his backpack. I'm going to take his armor and like the valuable stuff.
So you gotta remember, other than some filler items, and I mean like there's rations in there. There's a couple of like things found in nature that could help him make explosives or stuff like that, or food that he picked up from nature. The only 3 valuable things that were the things that I named: the arrow, the single arrow, the bandolier of cigars, and the studded leather armor.
Cool. I'll take those 3 things, and then would I have enough time right now to kind of like makeshift a booby trap with like some bombs that when somebody opens the backpack will just go off?
Are you you are proficient with, let me see, with, because it's either, I think that's alchemy tools.
I'm also proficient with alchemy tools.
Okay. Just looking something up. You said you are proficient in alchemy tools?
Alchemy and thinking.
Okay. Okay. So. Go ahead, give me a sleight of hand check. With this sleight of hand, it is going to be it is going to be an intelligence and proficiency bonus check that is a sleight of hand.
I don't know what that means.
So go ahead and roll a d20, but add your intelligence bonus and your proficiency bonus.
Okay, so plus 4. Gotcha. So 16.
16. What kind of bomb are you trying to craft inside of Wick's bag?
I'm not trying to craft anything. I'm trying to use my the bombs that I already have. I want to put there like 3 bombs and tie them all to like the same trigger mechanism to when they open the bag they go off and blow up in his face.
Alrighty, sounds good. You strap. There's a clasp, a leather a clasp and buckle that kind of goes in the front and clasps to close the front of it. You tie all 3 of the fuses, like these, like the pins, to that clasp. As soon as the clasp is opened at like a slightly forceful pulling upwards, it'll remove all 3 of the pins, setting off the explosive. You drop them in the bag ever so slightly, making sure that they are hanging by a fucking thread. And I mean that literally. Ooh, boy. Bomb is set, and you have Wick's stuff. What would you like to do?
I mean, first thing I'm doing is I'm like changing into Wick's armor. I'm giving my armor. Would it fit Twig or would it fit Blizzard? Twig is small.
So, Twig is small, but the way that armor is that she's not like Twig isn't a monstrous race, so they don't have to. Oh, I thought you were getting through. So they don't need their armor specially crafted. And I don't think, Blizzard, you're humanoid, right?
Blizzard is humanoid, yes.
Okay, so they could both wear the armor.
Okay. I mean, shit. I was gonna give it to somebody, but now I feel like me as a player feels bad for leaving one of them without armor.
I have natural armor.
Okay, I'll give it to Twig then.
All right. Twig, you gain some armor.
For saving my ass in the
You're a rogue, yeah. You have
for
light
saving
armor.
my ass in the chasm.
For saving his ass in the cavern, you
In the
gain.
bridge thing. Yeah,
What
I
armor
have
did you
light-
have on?
Studded leather.
Studded leather. Okay. So you both gain some studded leather.
And I'm putting on Wick's armor.
Gotcha. So let me add that to your inventories. And then items. I was going to not tell you, but once it gets added to your inventory, it's not going to matter. I guess I can just open Wick's character sheet and do it that way. There you
Cool.
go. Obviously, one boot. Yeah. Obviously, like I think you can now see what I was trying to tell you by it looks real good.
It's a +1. Yeah.
It is +1 leather studded leather, yes.
Gotcha.
You get his stuff. You see that you hear the conversation with Wick and Father Brum end, and you okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to pull up a percentile die, and I want you to tell me high or low.
High.
High is good or high is bad?
High is good.
High is good.
Oh no.
Okay. You hear this is what you hear. You hear that Father Brum is saying you hear that Wick calls Father Brum for his bag, and Father Brum is the one who walks over to take Wick's bag. As he picks it up, you see that you immediately get this thought in your head. If you kill Wick, right? It's important for you to realize that if you kill Wick, for one, you don't get the bounty that is on Wick's head. Who of all of the people that Wick got away.
Yeah, but like when we were in the canyon, like it's like I asked you, like if do I have to bring him in alive or do I have to kill him?
Right. So his body, dead or alive, needs to get to the prison.
Gotcha.
If he doesn't get to the prison, you get no money. You get no reward. Okay? So if he dies here, sure, but you need to get his body to the prison. That's one.
Fine.
2, if he dies, anything else that he has, flash back to the manifest that is the locked box that he stole, like the thing from the locked box that he stole. Because going through here, none of these look like things that were from that box. None of them feel like they were the thing from that box. You didn't see it, but you heard Gray talk about what was he described it as an elemental. So energy that is coursing through that box. Something was trapped in that box. An arrow, a bandolier of cigars, and his armor don't seem like any of those three. Right? It doesn't sound like anything that was in that box. So the thing that he took from that box is lost, period. Because he'll be dead, he can't tell you. And then for anybody else who cares, any knowledge that Wick has acquired throughout, you chasing him or before chasing him that he has, dies with him.
I'm trying to find a motivation for my character to keep him alive. Because I just feel like that's more interesting from a player perspective. Would Wick know anything about the people that I'm looking for?
It's possible. All I'm saying is I can't tell you yes or no because I would say that your relationship with Wick is a giant game of cat and mouse. You haven't had Wick captured long enough to interrogate him. And he's been on the run this entire campaign so far, running from you. So if he does know, right? Because, Wick's had his hand in every cookie jar, every single one. He's been arrested for selling, magic items to both sides of any particular conflict. He's been arrested for the illegal use of necromancy magic. He's been arrested for grand theft and slander. Literally everything on the sun. He's had his hand in quite literally every single cookie jar. So it's very possible.
Gotcha. Okay, I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to wait and see what happens.
Okay.
Like, I really said that I was going to do that, and I really. Wait, before. I'm gonna. Is this thing like what's going on already set in stone, or can I still act?
Is what you can still act. I'm saying that you, on the other end of the tent, you can hear Father Wick saying, "Bag! Bag!" and Father Brum moving to the bag to get the bag. You can literally hear him saying like, "Yeah, I can get your bag for you."
Fuck it, I'm gonna watch and see what happens.
Okay. You immediately hear the click, and a massive fireball explodes out of the back of the tent.
Into Firebrom?
Hard to tell. You hear a loud ching, giant flame column blows out of the back of the tent. And as that happens, bunch of people start to come out of their different homes, seeing the large pillar of flame, and you see scurrying out of the front is an unscathed from fire Shifty Wick, who begins to who kind of like gets his bearings and then begins to dart off to the southern end of the town.
I'm gonna shoot him.
Go ahead, take a shot. This is with advantage because he has no idea where he doesn't see you.
So just roll to hit, right?
Yep.
Wait a second. Let me turn on advantage.
That's a natural 20, baby.
What?
Alrighty, go ahead and roll damage. Woo!
Oh, 11, yeah.
Arrow slams into the back of Wick, like directly into one of his shoulder blades. You see he goes tumbling down the hill because Horseshoe Pass is a bit on a hill. He goes tumbling down the hill before eventually falling onto his chest, standing up, seeing that there's a bolt in his back, goes to try to pull it out, can't quite reach it, looking around, understanding that he's been attacked. Wick is going to cast a spell. He's going to cast a spell. You watch as the very air around him begins to kind of distort and almost like he's moving faster than the air is, and just actually begins to just full sprint, trying to get away from whatever just attacked him.
I'm gonna get on a horse and chase him.
Okay. Make a perception check. Holy shit, here we go. You're not very far from the stables. There's definitely horses there.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab a horse, like just maybe leave like 3 gold behind and just chase Wick.
Okay. Not at all the cost of a horse, but okay. You take the horse.
Well,
you begin to.
Tell me how much would the cost of the horse be?
A horse is like 50 gold, dude.
I'm gonna leave 50 gold then.
All right, you throw 50 gold down. It's just like this little pile of gold on the ground. You begin to head off with Wick. It is at this moment with a natural 20 perception that you also realize Wick is moving significantly faster than your horse.
I'm gonna take another shot at him.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Just flat?
Just flat.
And he's not wearing any armor, right?
He is not wearing any armor, but remember, he did cast the spell.
11?
11, you see that you shoot at him, and what you see the arrow pass through is an after image from how fast he's moving. Basically, like, what you shoot at, he is no longer there by the time the arrow gets there. Like, he is flying.
I'm gonna keep after him.
Okay. You chase Wick all the way to the southern end of the town, where you see with your eyes a rope system that has been set up with pitons down into the chasm. Basically, you're looking where that world just drops off into nothing, just a 90-degree off of into nothing, where Wick flies over, grabs the rope, and begins to descend down into the cavern. From where you are, you can see this is probably a little, like, it's not exactly where he hit the ground, but it's close to where he must have hit the ground at the mouth of that, like, alcove, that cave. And he climbed up.
Do I have time before he disappears to shoot him just one more time?
You can certainly take another shot, but his spell is still active.
Gotcha. That's fine. I'll take a shot. Never mind.
Whizzes over his head, the arrow, the crossbow bolt losing velocity as it just descends and disappears into the blackness as Wick again just begins to quickly go down the rope, down the rope.
Is he gone by now, or is he still there?
Oh, he's gone. Yeah, he's gone. Just like because of the spell, he is moving incredibly fast.
Gotcha. Okay. Does it seem like there's another way out of the cavern?
From where you are, you have no idea. You know the bartender told you that the other entrance of the cavern is like well off into the Rimefrost, like well off into the it's not south. It's like maybe north or east or northeast, somewhere around there. But it's just like it's an above ground cave, but it is way out there.
Gotcha. So he's not even made it to the cave yet.
No. So knowing now that you know what the tavern keepers told you, there are two entrances. The one that Wick is going to right now, that entrance, and the one that is about northwest deep into the Rimefrost where you'll have to make an expedition to.
I'm gonna try to thrill Wick just so I can at least know where this entrance is.
Okay. You finally, using your horse who's taking dash actions, get to the very edge where the horse stops advancing at a certain point, no matter how hard you mush the horse or how hard you spur the horse to get it to go. You have to hop off, head to the end, look down. You see the rope with the pitons knocked into it all the way down. No sign of Wick. Wick seemingly has gotten to the bottom and escaped yet again.
Okay. I mean, but at least I know where the entrance is, right?
Correct.
Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna ride as fast as I can back to town and tell Twig and Blizzard that I need their help catching this guy.
Okay, Blizzard, you're crafting a spear. Twig, what are you doing?
I don't know. So I'm having issues figuring out what Twig's fancy in all of this is, because the only reason they're sticking around is because they figure they probably won't survive on their own, but they don't have any real objective. They're kind of just chilling, living life, because again, they don't they don't have like purpose per se. What's Blizzard doing?
Blizzard is crafting a spear out of a bone.
Cool. Twig is sitting next to him.
Okay. The two of you sitting together,
Humming the whole time.
Humming the whole time. Watch a giant gout of flame blow out of the back of a tent. The people who are in their homes start to come out. A panic arises as everybody starts to scream and go into panic, grabbing what looks to be like just buckets and half barrels of snow, and in a quick attempt to start to put the fire out. And after their fierce attempt of just starting to throwing snow on it, trying to put the flames out, you see that Ghost rides back into town. An important note for you to know: rides back into town on horseback, asking the two of you for help. And it is at this moment the two of you also realize he has found Wick, and Wick has escaped again. And that is all for this episode of The Cold Road. Tune in next time where we figure out how the hell we gonna catch this guy. This has been your adventure guide, reminding you that it could always be worse. See you next week. Bye.